Hello everybody, thank you for visiting my channel today, and if you haven't done so already, I invite you guys to go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you would know if I have new videos uploaded. You can see I'm filming outside and it's already nighttime because this is actually the only time and place that I can do a vlog like this. So for today's video, I'm going over some of the commonly asked questions as regards J2 visa. So I have recently completed my 5-year cultural exchange program in Florida. I've been back home for 3 months now, so I want to use my YouTube channel to kind of share the things that I have learned through my experience there for 5 years. Just to be clear, just in case there are some of you who are visiting my channel for the first time today, I was able to teach in the United States on a J1 visa. So I brought my husband with me and he's my J2. So on today's video, I'll be covering commonly asked questions about J2 visa. On my list, I have actually more than 20 questions because there's actually probably more questions that you'll be asking about J2 visa than the things that I'll be covering today. But for sure, your questions will be answered when you go to the link that I have in the description box. So I'll be putting the links there to pertinent websites, which I think, again, they're pertinent, relevant to the J2 visa. So the first one is like the definition of J2 visa. So the teacher, the principal applicant, will be holding the J1 visa, and the dependents who will be going with the J1 to the United States are called J2 visa holders. So who can be your J2 visa holders or your dependents? Well, your spouse, you should be married because you will also be turning in documentation to prove that you are married, and children that are under 21 years old, and they should be unmarried. I apologize if I would keep on, referring to my notebook because I don't really memorize these things. Okay, anyway, so what are the privileges of having a J2 visa? Well, J2 visa holders may enter the U.S. along with a J1 spouse or parent. They can also travel in and out of the United States continuously as long as the J1 visa is in status, meaning the J1 visa holder is still in status, so it hasn't expired yet, or the J1 visa holder has not been terminated from work. Also, the J2 visa holder may study in the US without applying for a student visa. So if your kids will be coming along with you, they can study in the States and they don't have to acquire a new visa to do that. And then the J2 visa holder can also work in the United States with proper authorization from USCIS. What are the limitations of the J2 visa? Well, because J2 is a dependent of J1, then all the requirements that apply to J1 will also apply to all the J2 visa holders. So meaning, if the J1 visa is required to go back to the home country and stay there for 2 years, then J2 must also comply with that requirement. So if J1 visa expires, then the J2 visa also expires with that. And the J2 visa holder can only apply for work when they are in the US. Unlike J1 visa holders, obviously they would apply for employment while they are in their home country. How long can J2 visa holders stay in the United States? Well, as long as the J1 visa holder is in status. You might be wondering if the J2 visa can travel outside of the United States wherever they want to go by themselves, meaning not with a J1 visa holder. The answer to that is yes. As long as the J1 visa holder is in status, the J2 visa holders can travel in and out of the United States. I already mentioned that the J2 visa holders can study there and also work. So what do they need to do in order to be able to work in the US? They have to obtain what is called the employment authorization. This employment authorization, or what you will hear when you get there as the EAD, will be obtained by, you know, turning in some documentations, paying some filing fee. And I have the link to the USCIS website, because that's where you can obtain the application form, the procedure on what to do, and, you know, the documentations to turn in, the fees to be paid. All those information pertaining to obtaining an EAD will be there. So I don't want to go over those in detail because this video is going to be super long. So just go to the description box to get the link to the USCIS website. How long can the J2 visa holder work in the United States? Well, the validity of the EAD will be in the card that they will be receiving through the mail. And so, but obviously it will be dependent on the validity of the DS 2019 of the J1 visa holder. And also it will take about 3 months for the processing to be done. It can be longer. So when the application has been approved, the J2 visa holder will be receiving the card, the EAD card, through the mail. So it can be longer than 3 months depending on the number of people applying for the EAD. It can also be shorter if there's less people applying. So it kind of works like that. But yeah, everything is done online. You don't have to go to a certain office to apply for the EAD. Again, all the documentations, the fees, information will be in the website. Is on the description below. How to apply for J2 visa? Well, the same process. I'm sure there will be some differences, but almost the same process as the process completed by the J1 visa holder. So the J2 will also receive their own DS 2019, which must be provided to the consular office at the interview during your, you know, appointment at the embassy. If J2 apply for visa on later date for DS 2019, then the DS 2019 will be sent by the visa sponsor and will be furnished together with a copy of the principal applicant's J1 visa. So because you might decide not to have your J2 coming with you to the United States at the same time. Like for instance, some of the J1 visa holders I know, their family went after a year, came to the United States after a year, and then for my husband, he followed me after a month exactly. So we did not go to the consul at the same time. So what documentations must be completed by the J2 applicant? So they will be needing the DS-160, Form I-539, payment of filing fee, photocopy of USCIS Form 1, Form I-94, front and back. They also need to turn in photocopy of DS 2019 Certificate of Eligibility, cover letter, photocopy of passport. Then they have to also turn in passport size photo with white background. So what about the cover letter? So the cover letter will be addressed to the USCIS and should be a brief statement. So it shouldn't be too long, okay? And it should clearly state that the money earned by J2 holder will be used to support him or herself, but not to be used to support the J1 visa holder. How long is the processing time for J2 visa? Well, it varies, but generally it's issued within 30 days from the day of application. So 30 days, hopefully, but that's the average again. Next question. Can the J2 visa holder extend their stay? Well, yes, again, as long as the J1 visa also acquired the extension. So the visa itself is valid for 3 years, but there's 2 years extension on the DS 2019. So on your extension year, you will receive a new DS 2019 together with your J2. So, yep. So if the J1 visa has not been given an extension, obviously the J2 visa cannot also extend their stay in the United States. Next, can the J2 visa holder change their status? Yes. If, so there's a caveat to that, they can change their status. It's also true for J1 visa holder. Okay, so yes, if not subject to the 2-year home residency rule. Because since J2 is dependent on the J1 visa, and since J1 visa is, you know, required to comply with the 2-year home residency, then the J2 must also comply with that. But there are some J1 visa holders who are not required to comply to that rule, so they're not subject to the 2-year home residency requirement. So if they are subject, they can also still change their visa status if a waiver has been obtained. So without the waiver, the J1, J2 visa holders cannot change their status to another non-immigrant visa like J1 or a working visa like the H1B, but they can apply for a tourist visa. Tourist visa is fine because as a tourist you cannot work in the United States. Are J2 visa holders required to have insurance? Yes. J2 required to obtain health, accident, medical evacuation, and repatriation of remains insurance coverage while in the United States. Can the J2 visa holder apply for a waiver? Yes, if the J1 and J2, for instance, they're, you know, husband and wife. If they divorced, J2 can apply for a waiver. Or if the J1 visa holder died. So those are the conditions when J2 can apply for their own waiver. And also for the kid, if the kid reaches the age of 21 years old, the kid may also apply for a waiver. The details of that you can find in, you can consult immigration lawyers. Are J2 visa holders required to pay taxes? Well, yeah. All of the tax requirements that the J1 visa holder has also applies to the J2 visa holder. So yeah, no exemption. So that could be federal tax, state tax. All of the applicable taxes also must be paid by the J2 visa holder. So I guess that's it for today's video. I hope you have the answers to some of your questions about J2 visa. And if you have any more questions about today's content, I encourage you to have them in the comment section below. I'll try to answer them, and if I cannot answer them based off of my personal experience, then I'll Google them for you or share some links that could be useful. Thank you again for watching today's video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.